What's good, y'all? What's up? What's sizzling? It is your favorite frustrated creative show, signing in for another video. Welcome back. How y'all doing? Thank you guys so much over the support on my videos. Honestly, y'all were having fun with it on Instagram and also showing love on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. More to come. We're really trying to be consistent this year. It's not easy, not at all, but it is possible by God's grace. Jesus got me. He does. Operation Care for the Homeless is coming back once again to Edmonton, Alberta on April 6, 2024. And if you're interested in volunteering at all, please check out the volunteer form down below. And if you have any questions, any inquiries, please check out my email and send me an email, and let's get out there to help the community once again. If you're anything like me, the dating world is not exactly foreign to you, but at the same time, it's not easy to navigate either. There seems to be so many rules, regulations, and concepts you constantly have to be on top of. It feels like a full-blown basketball game all the time. You have to know what your opponent is thinking. You have to make sure you're always on your A game. But who created these rules? Who created the game? And why isn't the ref blowing his whistle? Because some people need to sit out. I was thinking about the idea on how relationship talk is so common nowadays. Everyone seems to have an opinion on it, and it seems that if you're not in the know to know how to navigate it, you are simply sitting out. You don't know how to engage, and at the end of the day, you end up getting left with the shorter end of the stick. And that is how I stumbled upon this topic for this mini-series, the commercialization on relationship talk. If you're here last week, you know that we are talking about 3 distinct categories. Singleness, which we addressed last week, the talking/dating stage with the evil twin situationship, and relationships. This week, we're going to be discussing the dating/talking stage and situationships. This idea of situationships is quite interesting because there's still an element of autonomy over your own singleness and what exactly you can do whenever you want, but at the same time still sharing yourself with someone in a romantic sense. I mean, why would you put yourself in that kind of predicament anyways? Like, you know you like that person, you know you want to be with them, but at the same time, they're telling you, oh yeah, I'm not really ready yet, so you decide to stay and stick with them and everything like that. But at the same time, you know you want something more, but at the same time, they don't want any commitment. But then you try to talk to them, and it seems like there's always a wall every single time, and then you end up thinking that they have commitment issues, and the discussion on commitment issues and how it might be an issue might be a problem. But is it really bad to have commitment issues in the society we live in? Let me stop. Before we start rambling and ranting about situationships, let us get into the origins of situationships and have it in comparison to dating/talking stage. Is it better? Is it worse? And are situationships truly toxic, or are people misunderstanding it? We'll get into all of that. Let's go. Let us first define what a situationship is. A situationship is essentially a romantic or sexual relationship that is rather undefined with no commitment. It is said that people who are in situationships are more than friends, but have less commitment than romantic relationships. The big defining factor here is the lack of commitment, as one or both parties in said situationship don't want to be committed to one another. They don't want the load of being in a relationship to already tie them down in whatever they got going on. They either don't want to be committed to that specific person, or they're just not ready to be in a relationship at that time. Apparently, this term has been around since 2006, according to the Urban Dictionary. However, it still wasn't commonly known till around the mid to late 2010s, and gained so much momentum in such a short matter of time. In comparison to the dating/talking stage that's been around for decades, as people know it commonly to be a time or a period where you get to know someone that you're interested in and see if you guys are the right fit or not. Under the umbrella of situationships, we have friends with benefits, or the commonly known phrase, it's complicated. Those were things that we used to describe situationships back in the day. However, now situationships, I feel like, have a more defined term. It's complicated was just, y'all don't know what's going on at all. And friends with benefits was just, y'all are just kicking it, knocking boots and kicking it. But situationships, it kind of gives this element of, you guys might like each other, but at the same time, you're still trying to figure out what you guys want to do, or you guys just both know what's going on. Whereas those two other terms that I said before seem very much up in the air. And to be honest, if I was a biddy in the early 2010s or the early 2000s and someone said, oh, we just friends with benefits or it's complicated, I would be pissed off. But situationships, I might be okay with that. In society, we could say that we see 3 different types of situationships. There's usually the first category of people that are in situationships and know exactly what's going on between the two of them. There is no confusion, there is no miscommunication. They both know that they're not ready for a relationship, but they like the other person a lot. And they don't want to lose them, but at the same time, they're not ready to commit. So they just stay in a situationship and they're good. You usually don't see any conflict. Like, they know what they got going on. It's just everyone else who seems to have an issue with it because it's kind of undefined for them. But to be honest, ain't any of your business anyways. The second category of people are the people who know exactly what's going on in their situationship. It's not a situation for them at all. Like, they know that they're enjoying their single life still. They could talk to whoever they want. There's no real boundaries for them. They're able to enjoy the fact that they're filling a void of a partnership by being in a situationship with the person that they like, but at the same time, they're still able to do whatever they want. They have a taste of a relationship, but at the same time, a taste of their singleness. It's a bit of both, you get in to try everything. It's a buffet. They're enjoying it, But the last category of people are the people who truly see the situation in their situationship. They probably want more. They probably thought that the person that they were in a situationship with would probably change their mind eventually, that it was just a process that they had to go through. They eventually want to actually be with this person, but it's looking bleak. It's not looking too good, But honestly speaking, you shouldn't have to go through this stage in order to get into a relationship with somebody. You shouldn't have to go through the it's complicated stage or it's a friends with benefits stage before you get into a relationship with that person. Like, I don't care how much you like that person. Stand up, pull your boots by its bootstraps and get out of that situation. There will be someone else out there for you who won't put you through that, crazy limbo of not knowing what's going on. Y'all are acting like y'all in a relationship, but in the same breath, they're saying, oh yeah, I'm not ready for a relationship, and they still have the ability to do whatever they want. Like, what kind of madness is that? Please, let's gain sense here, please. That's usually the problem with situationships. There seems to be a lack of communication, and the honesty is bleak. It seems as though that one person is lying to the other person just so that they can have that person around, or one person is not completely honest about what they're doing behind closed doors in their own personal time when that other person is not there. They're probably talking to other people or engaging with other people because they still think that they're single. And it just seems as though that this idea of not being defined makes things so much more complicated than it needs to be. Some people are out here in the dating pool and they're not even ready to swim. You know that you're still healing from your past. You know you're not ready to commit to nobody. You know you don't even want a relationship, yet you're in the dating pool. Finding yourself in situationships left and right and center because you like said people, but you're not ready to commit. You're not ready to make a decision. You're not ready to learn who they are as a person, but you want to knock. But you want to fill a void of a significant other. You see how you're the problem? People are having full-blown races to get out of the dating pool, and yet you and your floaty, you're just walking across being a menace to society. What is your problem? Like, people are having Olympic races to get out, instead of you to get out, come off a road, let people see their front. You want to be floating. Keep on swimming, keep on swimming, Keep on seeing me, seeing me, seeing me. You the Chris? Anyways, if you know you're not ready to be in a relationship, you're not ready to commit, you're not ready for any of that, just stay out of the dating pool. Please. Please. Thank you. Some of us can't even be in the dating pool right now. We're just looking at the water. Ooh, it's pretty. But to be honest, can we really say situationships are a problem? Can we really say they're a bad thing? Like, I get the idea behind it. Like, I see how bad it can be. But at the same time, I could also see that if you don't really want to be out here struggling with multiple people to figure out if they're meant to be with you or not, because to be honest, there's so many rules that people seem to abide by when it comes to the dating world, like the 90-day rule, how many days it takes to know if that person is meant to be for you or not, if the talking stage is too long, like you must talk to this person at a specific time. If they don't express or show this kind of standard, you should leave them. It just seems like a headache all the time. Like, you can't even sit down and have a conversation with somebody without them saying, oh yeah, what do you bring to the table? Some of you don't know how to talk. Is that what you must say? Like, and I'm going to be so honest with this conversation right now. When it comes to this idea of figuring out who you should be with and if this is a right time period for you, asking someone straight up that, oh, what do you bring to the table? Honestly, you don't have sense. You don't. Because people are losing the art of conversation. They're losing the art of being able to ask questions and being genuinely interested in the person that they're talking to. You guys need to be asking the right questions. Try to ask that person, what are their morals looking like? What are their values looking like? What do they prioritize in their life? What is their family life looking like? All those different things help you realize what that person brings to the table. Just open your mouth, bagada. Oh, this is what... Don't piss me off. And on top of that, most people don't know how to date, to be honest. They don't know. They just want to knock. Like, it's actually so weird. Some people just want to waste time. They want to get free meals and they want to knock. Like, there's no objective anymore. It's just to catch cruise. And honestly, I can't blame some people. Like, for instance, for the people out there who weren't really introduced to dating at a young age and were really just like, they were very sheltered and they weren't really given the opportunity to like actually like get advice from their parents on like what they should be looking for and like the different red flags and everything. You now get thrown into the dating world like in your mid to late 20s and you end up being confused because it's just that most people, especially from an immigrant background, they would expect that you don't talk to boys, you don't speak to them at all and everything like that all throughout your high school years, even to your university years. But then they're expecting that by the time you're done uni, you have a man, you have a husband. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, but at the same time, on the flip side, I feel like men are given more opportunities to date and like try different things. But at the same time, they're also not given rules or like the right perspective when it comes to dating. It's not like they're dating for marriage, they're just dating for experience. But then my question comes in, do you believe it is better to date for experience or date to marry or both? What is your perspective on that? Because honestly, I'm on the fence. And honestly speaking, it seems like both sides are lacking when it comes to the dating world. Like, women on one side feel as though that they're constantly being objectified for their bodies when it comes to dating, and they're not really given the experience that they need in order to finally find someone to settle down with and get married, you know? And it feels like dating is just pushed on them to get married. They're not really allowed to date for experience without being looked at like a thought or a whore or just a person who's just too fast. You get what I mean? However, for men, it's like they're more socialized to think of one specific thing when it comes to dating. And if they're not looking for that, there's something wrong with them. And in that same breath, they're kind of being robbed of the experience of really trying to find a genuine romantic connection with somebody because of the simple fact of that one thing, you know? Because on both sides, we're being socialized to think and want different things. So who's really profiting here? And who's really having the upper hand? And with all of that going on in the dating world, I totally understand why certain people would opt for situationships. You know, it feels safer to a certain degree for certain people to just be with one person that is not exactly their person, but is their person, if you get what I mean. And like, I don't want to say it's toxic, but it can be toxic. It has the possibility of becoming something that can cause more bad than good in the future. However, I don't think it's inherently bad. But let me know what you think down below. Now, with situationships, it opens the conversation of commitment issues. This idea that people are too afraid to commit and they don't really know how to navigate it. If you know that you have commitment issues and you have other issues that you need to fix within yourself, please get out of the dating pool. You're really messing it up for everybody else when you are selfish in the way you move. And I do think that you being in a situationship and then saying to someone that, hey, I have commitment issues, it's rather selfish. It is 100%. We can't even lie about it. And then it ends up being toxic. You know, it is better for you to be a whole person going into the dating field than for you to be unsure of yourself and not completely honest about the state of your mental health while someone else has to navigate it with you, but they like you, so they also have to think of themselves too. Like, it's just a whole lot of stuff to deal with. It is okay if you find someone that you like and then later on it doesn't work out. I feel like, yes, with a marriage, it's a little bit more, you know, costly. But I feel like before you even get to that stage, be open to the red flags. Open your eyes. Red is not just another shade of pink. Please. I know pink is very beautiful, but red is usually known as a sign of danger, as a sign of stopping and analyzing what's going on. You cannot continue to just keep rolling with the punches of a said situationship or relationship or even a talking stage, and you know within yourself you're not happy with it. You're not okay with it. There's something going on. It's okay to leave. It's okay to not stay. This idea that, oh, like this is the best you'll ever get. Bro, there's other people who will treat you better, that will listen to you, that will go ahead and cater to your needs and actually give you what you want. You shouldn't be settling for something that you know you're not going to be happy with in the long run. And honestly, I think that going ahead to define those boundaries for yourself in the very beginning will help you in the long run. What is y'all's opinion on situationships? Do you think they're branded differently in our generation? Do you think culture kind of influences them? What do you think?
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
But I think situationships are toxic because what I think of situationship is like a relationship that could have been, but like, I don't know. It's like, why can we be in a relationship? Why do we have to be a situationship? That's my opinion.
Situationships are a bit unnecessary. Like, I think it's just an excuse, like, just to like tag something, but all you want is just attention.
Oh.
And no, yeah, I think so.
Who do you think benefits from situationships more, men or women?
Men. I'm gonna say men. Yeah.
Is this still rated 90?
Yeah, you can say whatever. Yeah,
so I feel like, oh god, I'm going to get cancelled for this.
Wait, cancelled.
But I think if you have like sexual benefits in a situationship, then I think it benefits more of the male gender. But like for every other thing, I think it benefits more of the female gender because like they're the ones who need love more. They're the more affectionate ones, need more emotions to show. Like, yeah, so that's my opinion.
And do you feel like in our generation people are more in relationships, or do you think people are more in situationships? And why do you think that?
I feel like people are more in relationships in our society right now because almost everywhere you look, oh, they're dating, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't know, people are, like, which is kind of good because, like, people are more committed to each other as compared to situationships. which is kind of like an up for our generation in a way.
Okay.
I feel like these days you can be in like 20 situationships through texting and nobody will know. Like that's how it works really these days. Like just texting someone, having that like, oh, I like you, you're fine, but we're not gonna date. That's just already a situationship. Like it's easy like that. That's why it's more situationships than relationships these days. Like it's nasty.
I also agree with that because in a situationship, you guys, people define their own like situationship, like, oh, I like this person, he likes me back, you know. But relationship is like more defined, like we're both committed to each other. So I think it's situationships.
Okay. In terms of situationships in our generation, do you think it's a positive thing or a negative thing?
It depends, for real. Because if it makes you happy, your situationship is your gold. I mean, just some situationships work fine. You don't have to attach like, I don't know, any title. And it works fine for some people, like I said before. Sometimes it's just really, toxic. And you have to like find a way to like, I don't know, get away from, or just find a balance, I guess. But
okay,
that's all I gotta say.
And do you think that more people are in relationships in our generation or in situationships more?
Now, because I'm not like a search engine, I wouldn't really know.
But like from what you see on campus and stuff like that, like in general, yeah, do you think that people are more in relationships or in situationships?
From on campus, though, I do see a lot of people holding their hands, like each other, and walking around and being all of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, those people will not be in situationships now. They don't want to be outside showing that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I think more relationships, to be honest. Because campus is full of couples.
Okay.
Like, I've seen a lot of couples, so it's like...
Okay. In terms of situationships, do you think that situationships are more of a negative thing or a positive thing?
As long as both of you know what you're doing and there's no fooling, you're fine. Like, but if you're fine, as long as you guys understand each other.
Okay.
There's no wahala.
So, in your personal opinion, do you think people are in situationships more or relationships, and why?
I think situationships, because it's like people within this generation are so unserious to the point where it's like they want to be with everyone.
Okay. What about you? What do you think?
I think a mixture of both, but I would actually say more of like situationships because people just don't value being in like long-term committed relationships anymore. So.
Okay. And do you think that situationships are now toxic, or do you think they're fine? Like it's okay to be in situationships?
I feel like the situationship is toxic regardless because it's like you guys both know you guys aren't going anywhere and you're just kind of still like on a teeter-totter, just going back and forth, back and forth.
What about you?
It's toxic because one person always becomes they like overplay their role, and then it's like I want a relationship now, and then the other person doesn't want, and it's like okay, I'll just settle. Don't do that to yourself.
Do you think that situationships are more toxic or more positive in our generation?
There's nothing positive about situationships. There's nothing positive about it.
No, it's just an easy way to get the benefits of a relationship without the commitment. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys believe that situationships have become more negative, or have they always been negative? Do you think that they're more toxic now, or have they always had the standard of toxicity to them?
They've always been toxic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lack of communication is never good. You always need to be communicating with the person that you're with. And if you guys don't have the same goals and the same aspirations and the same boundaries, then honestly, you never were meant to be. And if that's hard to come to terms with, and you just keep walking with a false, I don't know, notion that this person is 100% going to be with you, or the other person does not want to be with you but also wants to be with you, then it's just like it doesn't it doesn't work.
It's just a whole lot of stuff. Yeah.
I just feel like it has always just been negative. Like, I really feel like it's not that complicated. It's either you like someone or you don't like them. Like, all this back and forth doesn't really make any sense to me.
Okay. Do you guys think that people are more in situationships more or relationships? What do you guys think about that?
I think situationships. A lot more people are confused, and a lot more people don't desire commitment these days, because they want to keep seeing other people. So I feel like situationships are more common.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What about you?
I feel like people are in situationships more, to be honest, because And lots of people these days just seem to have commitment issues. Nobody seems to know what they want. It's just chaos upon chaos. So I just feel like everyone is just deceiving themselves, saying they're doing something, but really they're not really doing anything. So I just feel like it's just toxic. It's just rubbish at this point. Everyone should just focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. When it comes to the dating stage, for movies and TV shows, growing up, I would definitely say for family shows or kid shows, you can see some representation of the dating / talking stage. And even for teenagers, coming of age movies and TV shows, you can actually see that as well. However, when we start to get to like adults and like college TV shows, movies, I don't think there's as much representation of that now. Maybe back then, but now it's very much situationships, to be honest. Like, you could even say that like teenagers like also are exposed to more situationships rather than healthy talking stages where they're actually learning the person and everything like that. And I think that's very interesting. Or what do you think? Let me know what you think down below. Do you think that we see more situationships being portrayed in movies and TV shows now across the board, whether it is kids shows, family shows, coming of age shows, movies that have to do with teenagers, college shows, college movies? Do you think you see that more, or do you see the flip side of it? Like, do you see the other kind? Let me know what you think down below. But back then, I would definitely say a slow burn. Like, there's some TV shows that right now, like, you see slow burns. You know what I mean? Like, this idea that this person likes this other person, but they're not sure yet, not ready to commit. But at the same time, you know they're probably going to get with each other in the next few seasons or so, or something like that. It's nice to see. Like, there's a couple shows right now that I'm watching that I'm like, yeah, something's going to happen very soon. We don't know what yet, but something's going to happen. But I'm afraid that with those shows, it's going to turn into a situationship. Instead of you actually getting to see that character or those characters together have genuine love and a real romantic connection, they're probably just gonna be shacking up with each other, sleeping with each other. No real love. Like, I want real yearners, I want real love, I want a slow burn, I want to enjoy all of that. But it's like everyone and their mama just want to be sleeping with each other. Like, grow up, like, do more. This conversation on the dating stage / talking stage versus situationships is quite interesting. I think that with the change of social media and people wanting to access things very fast and wanting to just, feel free and have freedom and do whatever they want, has pushed this idea of situationships to the forefront. However, I believe that there's still people out there who want to enjoy learning and getting to know someone. But let's not forget that dating apps are a thing. And with dating apps, we see people enter situationships more than talking stages / dating stages. It seems as though everyone just kind of wants to like feel each other out before understanding each other first. But hey, what do I know? All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for honestly staying to the end of the video. Like, I enjoyed talking about this topic. Honestly, like, this mini series is super exciting for me. So thank you guys once again. And the question of the day is, what dating app needs to go? What dating app needs to go? Like, pronto, now. In my personal opinion, Bumble. Why is Bumble there? I've used a couple dating apps here and there just for fun, laughs and giggles. But Bumble needs to leave. Like, I feel like there's not enough selection for those who are looking for people that look like them. Like, I feel like for Hinge and like for even Facebook dating, like, you can actually like get a good selection. I've never been on Tinder. You'll never catch me on Tinder. But for those other ones, I've been able to, like, you know, augment, like, who I get to see, you know, a little bit of melanin. But Bumble is very much like, yeah, they want you to swirl real bad. It's giving Shonda Rhimes starter kit, you know, on how to have a swirl-tication going on. And I'm like, girl, not everybody wants a swirl, you know? Like, not saying it's bad or whatever. It's just, I prefer to, like, you know, stay in house personally. But hey, I'm not opposed to it. I think it's cute. I think it's nice. But yeah, personally, Bumble needs to go. Let me know what you think down below. All right, y'all. It is your favorite frustrated creative, Sholay, signing out of this video. And remember, God made you special and He loves you very much. And you can do anything you set your mind to with Christ, of course. All right, y'all. Peace. Yay!
Yeah, I'm talking about. Bring it back.